now. I'm so excited to have Liz back in studio because the last time she was in here was right before her fight with Ronda Rousey. I mean, that's Liz. That seems like forever ago, but really it was only a couple of years ago, if that. Not even, right?
Just a year ago.
Yeah, it was last February.
February 23rd.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
And it feels like that was 10 years ago. Like, it feels like forever ago. How does it feel for you? Does that feel like a long time?
It does. It feels like I've been fighting for a decade.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my God,
you've had
right?
a couple of fights since then, and now you got a huge fight against Miesha Tate, who, again, fought Ronda Rousey, coming up on Saturday. Where are you at right now? How are you feeling? How's the training been? All that stuff.
The training's been great. We've run into a lot of different people that have helped so much. And this is a fight that I've been preparing for 3 times now.
Yeah.
So it's finally on track, and it's actually going to happen. That's the most exciting part for me.
Which I didn't realize, but I'm like, oh, so you've like triple trained for this fight. You know, she's been like waiting around to fight, and so she's been zoned in on this Miesha Tate for 3 training camps.
Oof.
Dang.
Which is
So
like
you're
a
ready.
triple threat.
Oh, I'm ready.
You're
Liz is
ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Now, Liz, let's talk about how life has changed since that monumental fight with Ronda Rousey. First, take us back to that fight, because we haven't talked to you since. What about that fight? I mean, you were so close to pulling off this crazy upset and beating Ronda Rousey. Talk about that fight for a second.
Yeah, you know, when I was on her back, I definitely thought that I had her. Even though I knew I wasn't underneath her neck, I was like, well, I'm on
That
her
neck
teeth.
crank was serious, though.
I'm over her mouth. At the very least, I'll break teeth, and she should tap to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds
crazy.
awful.
Yeah.
Like, did the teeth get into your arm?
They did. I had a bite mark and everything.
No. Oh my
Whoa,
God.
it's a little something to remember her by, I
Yeah,
guess.
there were bruises for about a week. I'm like, hey, maybe it'll leave a scar, and I'll really
How
have
cool
this
would that
nice
be?
little. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
legit.
But unfortunately, you know, it didn't work out. You know, she was able to come back in that fight and do her arm bar, which I know when we talked last time, you're like, that arm bar, like, I'm not going to fall for that arm bar. And I mean, she just has that way of getting you no matter what, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's been training since she could walk, doing that exact thing. So she definitely has an advantage over other people.
So it doesn't matter how much you train to defend it. She just is so skilled at it that if you make one mistake, you're going to get locked up in it.
Yeah, and you know, that's always the risk in MMA.
Yeah.
It's especially MMA. You make one little mistake and you pay for it. It can be as simple as you tripping on sweat and someone takes advantage of it.
Right. I mean, but you held your own against the very best. And so that had to give you some confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's definitely helped in the fights coming.
Right. And so, you know, like you said, you fought a couple of more times in the UFC. Now, this, again, to me, this is the second biggest fight that there is because, I mean, you guys are clearly 2 of the biggest contenders in the women's division.
absolutely.
You and Miesha Tate. Talk to us about this fight coming up. Where's your head at when you're getting ready to fight her?
Yeah, this is a big fight, and as we were just discussing, this is the 3rd time I prepared for this fight. So I definitely feel ready more so for this fight than any other one.
Really?
And our careers have paralleled leading up to this. We're in Strikeforce together, the Invicta, now into the UFC. So there's just been different points where we could have at any point clashed, and it's such a monumental time in our careers that it's finally happened.
And it's going to be on Fox.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is, you know, those Fox fights are gigantic.
Yeah.
Our boy Travis Brown is in the main event. You're fighting, so there's a
love
bit
it.
of a San Diego connection there, which is always kind of cool.
I love it.
But you guys are in the co-main event fighting Miesha Tate. That's as big as it gets. A nationwide audience. Do you let that creep into your head at all, or do you just like another fight?
No, for me, I don't really focus on whether it's a co-main event, main event. I mean, it's great to be a part of that, and I'm really grateful that the UFC has put me in a place that, because that's important, you really have to fill some big shoes when you're in that top main card. So, of course, there's that, but I'm just going in there just to fight the best fight I can.
Right. So whatever happens. You're just going in there, whatever headspace it is. I'm going in there to win, right?
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. So let's talk about your life and how it's changed since that Ronda Rousey fight, because I remember all of the countdown stuff and all the things that they did filming you beforehand. It was you and your girlfriend, and you were living in this kind of small house, and there wasn't a lot of furniture, Liz, and I can't even talk about your car. I mean, it was tough times for a while there. Then you got into the UFC. You get this opportunity to fight Ronda Rousey. How has life changed?
Well, the girlfriend's gone, the car's gone,
Okay.
but the house remains.
Okay, well, that's good.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, but I mean, things obviously probably a little bit better.
Do you have furniture now in the house?
I do.
Okay,
Actually,
good.
it was great. Ashley Furniture donated furniture.
Oh.
No
Look at that.
way.
That's
So I
legit.
now have a brand new kitchen table. which was a big deal.
Yeah.
A baller.
Yeah, because you were sitting on the floor eating,
I
right?
was.
Yeah.
You know, the floor thing was more of I'm a germaphobe.
Oh.
So I will not sit on my couch if I'm dirty. And I just come back from training when they filmed that.
Look at
So I'm like,
you.
I'm going to sit on the
Interesting.
floor. And they're
That's
like,
hilarious.
oh, this is great. I'm like, no. Wait, whoa. Where are you going with this?
Right?
But in the end, it worked out. I mean, it got me a bed. It got me living room furniture.
Wow.
And a couch. So I can't really complain about
That's
it.
pretty cool.
Now, how can you be a germaphobe and do what you do for a living? Because when you're in the thick of it, there's sweat, you're touching people, there could be like blood. Like, that sounds like a germaphobe's nightmare.
And in the Alexis Davis fight, it did enter my head.
Really?
When I cut her eye, got her blood on me, I was like, oh, God, I hope that she's clean. And I wiped it off. And I kept going. And it's the only fight where it's ever entered in. I've had other fights where I cut the girl, and I was covered head to toe in blood, and she was gushing blood everywhere. And it never went
didn't
through
think
my
about
mind.
it.
Weird.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
I
Interesting.
do Lysol disinfectant wipes, which are so bad for your skin, but just to be clean
You do them on your skin?
after practice, every practice.
Oh,
And I shower multiple times a day, yeah.
really?
Wow.
I would never have thought that about you or any fighter, really, because like this guy said, you're rolling around on those mats,
Yeah.
and and there's all kinds of stuff going on. Who knows?
Well, that just shows the mental toughness. Like, because if
You gotta
you
get
know
through it.
a germaphobe, you know how hard it is for them just to get past
Hey,
that.
Liz, you've been in the military. There's all kinds of dirty stuff going around.
And and in the military, I don't know what changed when I did MMA. I mean, there was always in the back of my head where I'm like, oh, that's disgusting. And then started doing more research into all the skin diseases you can get in MMA from the contact jiu-jitsu. And I think that's when I started going, oh my God, there's so much that could happen. And that's when it changed everything.
See, I'd be worried about getting punched in the face.
Nah.
Oh, yeah, no,
That's not a
nothing.
big deal.
No.
That's not a big deal.
Liz, we've interviewed Miesha. She looks like a clean girl, so I think you're going to be okay on Saturday.
Yeah, Miesha's hot.
Yeah. Talk about the support you're getting, because not only do you have the support of the military, which I think is really cool, but the gay community as well has reached out to you, and you've become kind of a face for them as well. Which support system have you heard from most?
Honestly, all of them.
Really, both?
Yeah, definitely from both. I'll have military personnel, both active and reserve people that have gone out, come up to me and just say the impact I've had on their lives and how
so
much they're
cool.
behind me.
Yeah.
And that's really awesome, especially the fight for the troops. So many people came up to me that I didn't even realize that even knew who I was,
Yeah.
just saying that they were supporting me, they're behind me.
That's awesome.
And then, of course, the LGBT community as well. Random people just walking through and they're like, oh my God, you don't realize you represent everything so much. You're a woman of power for us. Oh, wow. That's
Really cool.
Like, who knew, right? You're like, I'm just me.
Yeah. Yeah, I just interviewed her for the Ashley After Show. I said, what's the biggest thing that's changed since you fought Ronda Rousey? And she's like, I just get recognized way more. And that, like, you're changing lives, like, inspiring people. She said one time, people came up and just pushed the table over at a restaurant and just joined her and her friends for dinner.
Oh,
Well,
And-
wait.
Nice.
And Liz,
that's normal.
Liz
Little
let
much?
them. Liz let them stay for the whole meal.
Did they at least buy?
No,
Oh,
they didn't.
oh,
And
Not
and
cool.
that's what I expected. I'm like, well, maybe I'll get lucky
Get
and
free
they'll pay
meal
for
out of
meals.
this.
They're like, well, it's really nice meeting you. Bye. I was like, wait, did I
That's
suck
it?
with their bill?
Yeah, I know, right?
No
Made the
way.
tip higher, too.
I couldn't
Thanks.
believe. I'm like, I would have kicked them to the curb. Liz let them stay at her
Oh,
table.
Liz is a good
I know,
chick.
better than me.
So Ronda and Miesha didn't like each other. It was obvious, right? And after
That's
the fight,
putting it mildly. Yeah, they hated each
So,
other.
did you have any animosity towards Miesha? Is there anything bad blood there, or is just this is a fighter in your way?
No, I don't think I have any animosity with anybody. If I do, I don't
This
know
is-
about
yeah.
it. Maybe I'm just
Yeah.
naive or something,
Okay.
and I don't
You
see
have
it.
no beef.
But
No, you're
So
not
there's-
me.
so-
No.
Nice.
So you don't
Yeah.
have anything against Miesha like Ronda did, nothing like that at all?
No.
Oh, okay, I was just wondering. I didn't know if that was like the thing in the circles that nobody liked Miesha. I
Liz
didn't
is
know.
homies with Rhonda.
Oh, snap.
Since the
While saying that, if everything goes well, you get past Miesha Tate, whatever happens, the cards fall their way, do you want a rematch with Ronda?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My thing is I'm always gunning for the person with the belt.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
she still
You
has
wanna
the
be
belt,
best.
then I'll go for a rematch. If
Okay.
somebody else has it, then I want whoever's holding that belt.
yeah.
Is it weird fighting your friend?
No, I don't really think I have any close friendships with anybody I fought. We're definitely closer acquaintances,
Okay.
but no friendships. I think that's what makes it easier.
yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, this is a big one, man.
Yes.
Huge fight. Liz Carmouche taking on Miesha Tate. UFC on Fox this Saturday. Can you
Wow.
believe you're fighting in like a couple of days?
No, it's crazy.
That is like, really? Thanks for letting me know, Eddie. Liz, pleasure having you back in here. You got to stop by more often. You live in town. Come on back in. All right. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about things girls don't want